Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into a microphone. Why? Well, just because I can. And I continue with Tormentum Dark Sorrow, Blind. I have this magic powder that will supposedly disperse the fog. The fog is starting to disperse. The mage's powder has worked. Okay, that's nice. I don't need this. He's dead. There is sorrow in the wind today. Can you feel it? A great battle took place here. We were attacked by knights from the castle, obsessed by the idea of purging us of evil. They were aided by someone we once took for a friend. He cast a poisonous fog around our village, leaving us defenseless against the knights. If I'm not mistaken, he belongs to the race of Grey Ikari. You might be able to identify them by large tattered wings. He probably sold us for a handful of eggs. Still, we were lucky enough to injure him. He could not have gone far. Okay, there's a... You can't move this piece. This might be due to a missing disc, okay? So I have to find one of those. The fire consumes everything around. Hello again, friend. Soon after you gave me the crown, my assistance was requested. I was to protect Frozen Tears from the castle invaders. The crown turned out to be a worthless piece of metal. I was to gain unlimited power, but it was an empty promise. Legends have played a cruel joke on us. How were you to know? We all make mistakes. Okay, so the crown was literally pointless and useless. The key on the instrument have markings I have never seen. One night a winged creature came to our camp. It asked for shelter, and we gave it shelter. Little did we know it would prove a false-hearted traitor, spreading a paralyzing fog under the cover of night. He sold us out for a handful of eggs, undoubtedly. Those flying creatures have a weakness for them. Please find him, and I shall offer you my help. He's wounded, he can't be far. Another warrior's corpse. Okay, but it seems I can't progress through here. I must instead go to the cathedral, I guess. Okay, let's do it for now. Oh, it's locked. A human-shaped statue. There are symbols underneath. Ah, okay, I need to... So this is like a calm face with a... I think it's this. And then the eyes are sort of slanted down. And the top of the head has this symbol. So I think this is correct. And then over here the mouth is like large and the eyes are like this, I think. And the symbol up top is I think this is actually correct. The door is locked. Constructing such a cathedral must have taken ages. So what did I do wrong? Ah, because there is still this. The symbols over here must match. The column starts to shake, so that means it was correct. And over here, yeah, the symbols on the bottom must match. Okay, let's go inside. A portrait of some poor sick soul. The painting depicts skeletons riding carts. Desolation after a fire. A dark figure with a scythe. A strange building. People heading towards a cathedral. A winged man. Like heaven connected to the earth. A grotesque face set in a twisted grin. A balloon over the ruins of a city. A structure of some sort. People crossing some unsettling arches. I see a person at the bottom gazing upon something colossal. More paintings. An unknown creature which appears to be screaming. Hooded beings. A dead animal of some sort. Cave interior. The twisted form looks like some kind of an animal. Animated trees. I can feel this being's anger. Like a portrait of a decaying corpse. Painting depicting some unusual architecture. A creature with a long snout. A crown does not a king make, a heart does a king make. A king must have his heart open. Excuse me. A king must have his heart open for all, giving hope for a better tomorrow. Hope is not a dream. It is a way of transforming dreams into reality. Should a king open himself for others, the secret within the crown will open before him as well. Okay, so I can go to 2 different rooms from here. Apparently that's a cat. Although I have never seen such a cat before, but metal colossus holding someone in its hand. A beast with many eyes. A bird flying down a tunnel. Something is watching it. Some kind of a ghoulish scarecrow. A figure holding a sword. Someone sitting under a tree. In creepy landscape. There are some deformed bodies on this painting. A massive boulder floating in the air. dark creatures in the woods. Looks like a human head tangled in trees and rocks. A small house on a cliff. Nothing but some old brushes. Grotesque being. Look, cat, we have unexpected visitors, and rather smart too, wielding the power of code breaking. Since you are already here, please tell me, how is the life outside the cathedral? We rarely leave these walls, you see. The village is destroyed. I can see. Building this sanctuary many years ago was a wise idea. You have lost your memory and hope to regain it by awakening the statue on the hill. I am afraid you are mistaken. Most who come here seek redemption from their sins. Apparently, the statue attracts individuals with a deeply rooted conviction of their own evil. Are you any different? I am one of the few who have crossed the gates, hidden within the sculpture and returned. Not many believe my tales. Most believe I have gone insane. It was many years ago. I have paid a high price for my recklessness. I have gone completely blind, and yet to this day I struggle to recreate in my paintings what I saw on the other side. I want them to be a warning for people like yourself. Believe me when I say that nothing good will await you when you cross to the other side. Nevertheless, to have the passage revealed, you must thrust into a statue a sword made of a metal from the stars. I buried mine a long time ago. Did you remember where I buried it, cat? Oh yes, you weren't even born back then. What do you say, cat? Shall we help him? If my paintings and my words do not discourage you, then I can do nothing more to stop you. I can draw you a sword design that will reveal the gates behind the sculpture. The star metal you will need to find on your own. But before I help you, I will ask you for a small favor. Take this set of tools and restore 30 of my paintings. Time is slowly consuming them. In exchange for your efforts, I will prepare a star sword blueprint for you. What did he give me? And where is it? I've picked up a repair kit. Lots of work ahead. Whenever you are ready, my cat will show you the way to the paintings in need of restoration. Don't listen to the old fool. Why bother? I'll just show you the paintings behind which the old man hid the pieces of the Star Sword sketch. Look at the wall. I marked it with my claws. There's one tiny detail. To get to the blueprints, you will need to cut the paintings up, but that's not the real loss. Here's a set of knives. Go ahead and use them. The demented old man won't even notice. He's already completely blind and can hardly hear. Okay, the creators of this game clearly... I've picked up a set of canvas cutting knives. I have to think twice before using them. The makers of this game clearly do realize and agree with the statement that cats are bastards. Like, this cat specifically is surely a right bastard. But I will obviously not destroy the paintings that this man has spent so much time and effort in creating. I've restored the first painting, okay? That is going to take a bit. Oh wait, I don't think I was even in this room. Shows an odd animal. A portrait of a knight in armor. Gruesome skull. A figure in rags. People talking to a giant metal head. A warrior with a spear. An enormous flying beast. I think it wants to grab the unfortunate person below. A bridge with people on it. Some people at the base of a huge stone face. A house on a hill. Okay, restored that. A woman clad in strange armor. A giant drinking water from a river. I can also see a rider at the bottom. Disturbing piece of architecture. Building with a head. A painting of a creature emerging from the ground. Startled deer. But I won't have enough. Was I only supposed to renovate a specific ones? For example, the ones that have cobwebs around? You know, showcasing that they are the oldest? If I am going to have to repeat all of this, I am going to be a little bit annoyed. I've restored all 30 paintings, as the old man requested. Time to claim my reward. Yeah, but why 30 specifically? I thought... I sense as if my works were painted yesterday. Marvelous. Do you like my paintings now, cat? My cat is very pleased as well. You have deserved your reward. I will draw you the sword design that I keep in my memory. If you're still so determined to go there, be careful. Okay. The painter locks the cathedral door. He really values his privacy. Yeah, I'm looking for a disc to operate the machinery on the ground to the left. Oh, I can go on the roof. And that's the thingamajig. The creature. We meet again. Know that should you have given me the egg, none of this would have happened. I wouldn't have to sell myself to the castle out of hunger. This is all your fault. Now please, just let me die in peace. I witnessed petty desires leading to great tragedies. Not wasting any more time, I returned to the burning village to report on the result of my search. Have you found the winged traitor? Reveal where the Grey Icarus is hiding, or be silent and spare him. Now, I have conflicting opinions on this, because outside the scope of this game in particular, and this situation in particular, I would feel it's not unwarranted to betray his location. He did lead to the deaths of all of those people. So, you know, I feel like they have a right for vengeance, because he's clearly a danger. Like, he sold them for food. He caused the deaths of all of those people for food. So that makes him kind of dangerous, because it means he has very little inhibitions. But on the other hand, I guess, if I were to play devil's advocate on this one, I'm not sure whether he needs the eggs to eat. Like, is it the only thing he can eat? Does he need the eggs of other creatures to literally survive? Because if so, I'm not sure to what degree can you really blame him. Like, every living creature wants to live, wants to survive. It is encoded, it is hard-coded in the DNA of everything that lives, that it wants to keep living. And if he's designed in such a way that he requires those eggs for survival, then it's kind of understandable that he's going to do anything he can to get them, because he literally will die without them. But that wasn't made clear by the game. But within the scope of this game specifically, I feel this is a test. I feel I'm giving opportunities at every time to either show mercy or have someone killed. And I feel like I should be consistent in that, even though I feel that from a sort of gameplay perspective, as it were, although it seems to be somehow linked with the narrative as well, what with the mention of Charon, or Haron, or whatever, which seems to imply that this is the afterlife, or something close to it. So I don't think it would be unwarranted to betray his location and lead to his death, and I wouldn't really feel bad about doing so. I feel, you know, after his hunger has led to the death of this entire village, killing him in return is not cruel and unusual punishment. But within the scope of this game, I will spare him. Although I guess that creates another sort of interesting philosophical question. Because I'm doing this only because I believe I am being tested, but isn't that akin to cheating? Like, if I modify my behavior because somebody is looking, that is not morality. That is, in fact, the exact opposite of morality, of what morality is supposed to be. Morality is supposed to be a matter of choice. You do something because you believe that it is good or right or wrong, and not because there is some supreme overlord judging your every move, which I do believe might be the case here. So that is an interesting sort of conundrum, but I will not betray him, because I feel like this game's message is, like, whatever the message is exactly, it might require consistency, and there have been a string of situations in which I could either kill someone or not kill someone, so I feel like I will follow the trend on this. You are silent. I guess you haven't found him. The winged creature must have escaped. Very well. We will catch it soon enough. I have some advice for you. The music will show you the way. Some kind of note. I shall try to play them. I hope I don't have to play them fast, so I can barely sort of recognize the shapes. It is upside down, right? Because the piano is toppled. So it would be... I must have played it in the right order. And this is the disc I need for the other puzzle. Over here. It fits. Now I have to align the discs correctly. There's something emerging. It must be the star metal. I can head to the blacksmith now. He will know what to do with it. He died anyway. So, to be honest, the least he deserved was a peaceful death. So, to be honest, I feel like, you know, what else could have they done to punish him if he was dying anyway? Presumably they would have tortured him, which I would disagree with on principle. So, like, I feel like he has paid for his crimes and his mistakes anyway with his life. I don't feel bad anymore about not telling them where he is, because he's already dead. The only thing they could have done to make it worse for him would be to torture him beforehand, which, as I said, I would have disagreed with. Bring me the metal so I can forge the star sword. Sure, here we go. The blacksmith devotedly begins crafting the sword. The notes I have collected at the Mad Painter's Cathedral have proven very useful. I have taken the star sword. The blacksmith did a fine job. Drive the blade into the sculpture on the hill. If the stories are true, a passage should be revealed to you. Good luck. Something's happening. The sword has awakened the sculpture. And it has opened a portal. So let's go in. I feel a force lifting me upward as my body becomes limp. A feeling as if time had stopped, or had it ever existed? Or had it ever existed? I am blinded by light. I don't know what is happening to me. I feel as if my heart were being ripped to shreds. When I open my eyes, I realize I am somewhere else completely. No way back to frozen tears. I had better look around. I am pleased to see that you have made it this far. We have been waiting for you. To find the truth, you will need the key. Make your choice. Choose the key of light. If you consider yourself a good person with a clear conscience, choose the key of darkness. If it is darkness that lies within your heart, the decision is yours. Remember, the destiny we have is the destiny we are. Okay, I feel like it is entirely dependent on how this game interprets morality. But I feel like I've done everything I can to be a good person within the scope of the game and to always show mercy, so I will choose the key of light. I've taken the key of light, my conscience is clear. You have chosen your key. Go now and meet your destiny. Two mysterious figures cling to the sculpture like moths to light. They seem fused to the ground, staring in horror at the many-headed beast. They look as if there were no more hope for them. I hope that you are ready to know the final truth. From this point, there is no return. Crawl deep into the place where either good or evil shall open the doors of your destiny. Okay. Crawling on my knees, I squeeze through a tunnel, completely devoid of light. Under my hands, I can feel bones scattering on the slippery surface. My nostrils overwhelmed by the stench of rotting flesh. The only thing I find at the end is a ladder, leading further down. I have no choice but to take it. As I descend the ladder, I notice an elevator. A ladder leading back to the surface. There's no point in going back. Time to find out what awaits below. Can't see the bottom. As I enter the elevator, I lose the track of time. The ride down seems to have no end. The initial excitement gives way to frustration. Is this some form of punishment? Everyone I have met during my journey has begun to return in my memory. Some of the memories were connected with regret. Were my actions always right? I will never know. The elevator continues to descend the never-ending abyss. Slowly, I fall into the arms of Morpheus. In my dream, I see an old man at the end of his life, understands the concept of hell, the wasted chances, the opportunities we all miss during our lifetime. He keeps wondering how his life would look today had he seized all of the opportunities he missed, but this cannot be done. There is no second chance. Upon this realization, he plunges into sorrow, which will last an eternity. I am overtaken by a paralyzing fear that I might be that old man. At this moment I wake up. The elevator has suddenly slowed its descent. Okay, there are cages. Well, the only thing I have is the key, so... Long have I waited for you, but you have finally succeeded in wading through the remnants of your memory to find me. This place is buried deep underground, just as your memories are in the chasm of your consciousness. I assume you have many questions, as does every lost soul who enters here. You might prefer to disbelieve, but your body has long since been consumed by the earth. So this is afterlife. I am dead. Everything you have experienced in the castle, in the wasteland, in frozen tears, it was just a spectacle, a projection of your shattered memories. A unique world created solely for the purpose of determining whether the nature of your soul can still change. You must wonder what events led you here. Be warned, the truth might be cruel and difficult to accept. Jealousy, that was the catalyst of your deeds, leading to your tragic end. Behold, the final moments of your life. Your obsessive jealousy drove you to murder your beloved, killing yourself soon afterwards. You had no courage to live with a sin so heavy, choosing instead to escape. With your cowardly act, you closed 2 books. There was another. This was another and final display of cowardice. Deep within their soul, everyone knows too well that although suicide might be a solution, it is a truly shameful one, and when all seems lost, it is more honorable to be defeated by life itself than to suffer death by your own hand. In effect, your soul arrived into a world formed by the fragments of your memories, dreams and nightmares. All this so that you could redeem your sins, prove that you were worthy of salvation, or confirm that you deserve eternal damnation. You were given another chance. Let us see if you succeeded. You saved your fellow prisoner, even though you did not have to. His heart was not pure, but no creature truly deserves death. You were being told to kill the woman trapped in a cage, but you chose to act rationally. You repaired the door to the spider's den, while you could have opened it. You avoided unnecessary bloodshed. You did not kill the Horned Knight, even though the means to do it were right in front of you. You saved the being from the crossroads from a dreadful torment. You freed the man imprisoned at the bottom of the well. You gave the crown to the lizard from the tower. You chose well. He was a very wise being, incapable of using the crown's power to do wrong. The crown was useless anyway, so I feel like it doesn't matter. You let Icarus die in peace. You lied in order not to reveal his hiding place, but you are forgiven. Your intentions were noble. Well, actually, first of all, I didn't lie. First of all, I said nothing, which is exactly because it ties to what I said in the beginning about Kant and deontology, because Kant would say that me lying, even with a noble goal, is still wrong, but I did exactly what is the only solution if you don't want to tell the truth, according to deontology, which is to say nothing. I specifically stayed silent, and the character, the other character noticed that. He specifically said, "You're silent. That means you must have not found him." So I specifically didn't lie. The game is actually lying here by claiming that I did. But apparently my intentions were noble or whatever, which shouldn't matter according to deontology, but the paintings meant a lot to the painter. The restoration was a drop of joy in the sea of sorrows for this old man. The jester's heart was shrouded by darkness, and yet you were able to forgive him and give him a second chance. The decisions you had to make during your journey were put before you to test your corrupted soul. By your deeds you have proven you are worthy of salvation. You have been given a second chance and you used it well. You may now join your loved one, but will she forgive you? Well, will she? Okay, so apparently it is a Polish game, judging by most of the names, or actually all of the names and surnames in the credits so far. Now, I have mixed feelings about this game. I feel like it has never risen to the sort of heights promised by its graphical design, because don't get me wrong, the graphics in this game, the actual, painted landscapes and characters and all that, it was superb. It was great to look at. But in the end, this game is meh. Like, it is about nothing. The great sin that I have committed to get into this hellish afterlife is just murder. Sure, murder is wrong, but there was no greater story behind that. The game has not told me what has made me so jealous as to kill my beloved, and it didn't elaborate anyway on her and on our life together or anything. I just killed a person, and that's the catalyst for this whole game. Like, I feel like that's horribly underused as a starting point, and then the whole game was kind of simplistic in its, like, it was like, show mercy each time, press X to find salvation kind of deal. I really think there's not much in terms of a good story in this game, and not much in terms of emotional impact, which is a pity because, as I said, from a graphical standpoint, this game is definitely impressive. The landscapes and all of that, the drawings are nice, and I am going to remember them, some of them, and the overall feel. But I feel like the story of the game and the actual sort of moral lesson or whatever, the philosophical implications of this game's story are woefully lacking and kind of cliche in themselves. Like, there's nothing particularly deep about this story. There's nothing, there's no twist, there's no great revelation, there is no great sort of question about morality, because in the end it seems to have followed a very simple sort of binary understanding of morality, which, to be honest, deontology is supposed to be binary. It is very, very rigid moral philosophy, but even then, it's kind of weird how the game claims excuse me, the game claims that I have lied about the snake, about the bird creature, which would be wrong according to the ontology. It would be immoral to lie. But in fact, I didn't lie. I just didn't say anything. So yeah, Tormentum, Dark Sorrow. Like, I would give this game, I don't know, a 5 out of 10. Like, this game is a definition of average to me, because it sort of evens out. The graphics and the overall art design were great. They were like top-notch, memorable, interesting stuff. And people behind that were definitely talented, but the story and the setting and the meaning behind that was borderline meaningless, borderline non-existent. Like, it is a very simple story, and it seems like it doesn't have that much to tell you. Like, this game is weird because it feels like they had, the graphical designers in this studio. They had a lot of ideas about cool set pieces and cool drawings, but they didn't have a cool idea about a story to link them all together. So in the end, it's kind of limp and borderline pointless. Like, there was nothing in this game that sort of greatly intrigued me or moved me on like an emotional or intellectual level. I was definitely entertained by the graphics. I liked looking at them, but in the end, it's not something I value that much in games. And even the whole adventure side of the game was rather simplistic. Like, some of the puzzles were a bit of a chore, but none of them were actually satisfying to me. Like, I never had a feeling of accomplishing something after finishing one of them. They were just, I was going through the motions. They were just there, sort of. And to be honest, I feel like I was only stuck at some of them because I'm an idiot. Like, I'm not a particularly bright person, and it's often difficult for me to solve puzzles because I get so fixated on small details that I fail to see the larger picture. I feel like the puzzles would be trivial for someone who is not stupid, for someone who is not me. So, but regardless of their difficulty, I didn't find them satisfying, and I didn't find them particularly interesting either. So overall, this game is, best case scenario, average, but in truth, in reality, I don't think I would recommend it. I feel like you could do better things with your time. This game is nice to look at, but you can just, view a couple of screenshots on GOG and get the height of the experience. Like, the game actually never surpassed the level set by simply looking at the game's page on the GOG store, which I don't feel is a good sign, generally speaking. I might write something more after I collect my thoughts. If I do, it's going to be in a pinned comment underneath this video, and if I don't, then I guess that's all for this one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.